Hello, welcome to the House of the Spirits. Welcome home. This reading today is about what is hidden from you at the moment. So, pile number 1, we have Sagittarius, Pisces, Capricorn, and Virgo. Your card is the Moon. For the second pile, we have Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Cancer. Your card is the Three of Cups. For the third pile, we have Aries, Libra, Gemini, and Scorpio. Your card is the Magician. Okay, I will give you a moment for you to choose your pile using the chosen card or the zodiac signs or even just your intuition. I will see you in your reading. Pile number 1, your card is the Moon. This is such a sweet card. It's very interesting, although it is kind of somber and has a lot of darkness, especially in the body of the character. He's casting the shade, but he's also holding a kind of a light. So it's also having the light of your soul or a very profound part of yourself guiding you in this moment. The Moon card indicates that there's a lot of things that are hidden from you at the moment, and they can be friends or they can be enemies or they can be just situations. Okay, so let's see what else do we have for pile number 1 about what is hidden from them. The Singer of Courage, Sylvanus, the Truth. The mask comes off. And the Master Maker. Interesting. Okay. So we have work, occupation, a long way, and hope, big water. Interesting. I feel like there's the need for faith here, for taking a leap of faith, having courage to do something, being brave about something is going to maybe finish a job, facing truth or being truthful, being honest, being truthful, removing a mask. Maybe you've been wearing a mask and you need to remove it. There's something that's just on the surface that needs to come off so that the light from your soul shines. I feel like one of the messages here is that if this is a reading about what's hidden, too much is hidden. That's one of the main messages. So it can be about yourself, like you're hiding too much. You're hiding too many aspects of yourself. You're protecting yourself with a mask. You're wearing a mask, and you need to be able to show yourself as a master, to show your mastery, the mastery that comes from your soul. That's something that's very faith-driven. So maybe you have a religious belief that you hold close to your heart, but you're not honest about, or you don't, not honest, but you're not wearing it, like you're not exhibiting any signs of that belief, maybe. There's something here about being brave about that. And because of the mask, there's something about revelation. There's something about also wearing something that you can wear. Maybe it's something that you can wear. It can be a symbol, it can be an amulet, it can be anything that you consider is, it connects you to your soul, to who you truly are, to, it gives you bravery also. It gives you a sense of protection. It gives you a sense of meaning. How profound. Okay, what is hidden at the moment for pile number 1? A lot of cards. Okay, Sun in Pisces with vision. Mercury in Leo with drama. Sun in Libra with harmony. Saturn in Libra with devotion. Venus in Gemini with flattery. Mars in Sagittarius with domination. So again, with the belief, the idea of belief, you have devotion. Okay. And Mercury in Libra with influence. Interesting. You can see that the snake's tongue is shaped as the Mercury glyph. Can you see it? It's as if the words have a special power also, like they can influence others. What? I'm also reminded of Adam and Eve, of course, here with this card. Adam and Eve, faith. This might have a religious aspect for some of you, not all of you, but maybe some of you. I feel like it does have some sort of a spiritual meaning, surely. So this is about your beliefs, your interpretation of your own spirituality, your mission in life, how you go about that mission, like a sense of purpose. What gives purpose to the suffering, to all the things that intimidate you, cause you fear. You have the moon card, so The moon card is also about fears and anxieties. And I feel like there's some sort of, it's like there's a hidden connection between your fears and your faith. And if you make that connection, if you take that leap of faith and connect your fears to your beliefs, even your spiritual beliefs, it's as if they can reveal something about your soul when they meet. Because maybe some part of your fears is rooted in a spiritual belief, a specific spiritual belief. Okay. Okay, so let's see. What else do we have that is hidden for pile number 1? Okay. Okay, so I don't want to be how do I say this? Specific to a religious belief, because I do want my readings to have a wide scope, and that's also how I want this to be more of a spiritual and intellectual exercise, and not so much to try to kind of introduce people to a specific spiritual belief or something like that. So I am just using examples. I don't think that this is specific to this religion, but because there is so much reference to the book religions, so because you have all the symbols here, I do think that there's a sense of guilt here. So there's a sense of guilt and a sense of like sin, like I have sinned and I should repent, or I should do penitence. There's something there, like I should repent. Yeah, I should do something to appease this feeling. And I feel like you have to be brave to face that. And please just take this as a metaphor if that is not your spiritual path. This is just an example, but it's a very strong one. And I think that it illustrates what I'm trying to say really well. And it's, imagine that you really need to, you feel the need to go to confession. You feel the need to speak to someone who can help you redeem yourself, to feel like you can recover a part of yourself that was kind of lost in a painful memory or a painful world, like a part of your inner world. And there's this sense of imprisoning that part so that it doesn't contaminate the rest. But I think that, and that's also, it inspires me, this card, because it's so grotesque. It's a very grotesque depiction of the devil, and the painting is so well crafted that it's really impressive. And oh, sorry about that. I keep forgetting that I have to cover some parts of the cards sometimes. So maybe there's a part of yourself that you feel is grotesque, that it's not worthy of goodness or of pardon even. And I feel like you're kind of using maybe like working yourself to death, or working really hard to distract you, or to maybe because you think that if you work really hard at something else that doesn't involve this particular part of yourself, it keeps you functional and it keeps you safe. And this is a very strong, like, spiritual message, very strong psychological. So I would, I'm using very dramatic examples. So for some of you, this might be something much more subtle, and the way to address it might be might be more subtle also, or at least very gentle. Okay. 10 of Cups. The Sun. Two of Cups. There's a lot of nudity in this card, in this line, in this row. And maybe this also has something to do with you being naked before God. Let's say being completely transparent to the divine, to the thing that you consider the highest possible way to be, the ideal, the perfected. Looking yourself in the mirror and seeing God's perfection requires a certain requires us to first get rid of the sense of imperfection. But for us to truly feel that, I feel like it has to be, it's something that's deep inside your soul. So you have to get rid of guilt. You have to look at yourself as a light being, without any dark patches, any dark parts. So you can't forget about certain parts. This is also about being whole, and the mastery here is about you unifying with yourself. The Magician. The Emperor. Wow. And the Three of Swords. So I feel like this is about mastering harsh feelings that you might direct towards yourself. I don't think that this is something to do with anyone else. This is just you, and you have that power. This is all about your own power, the access that you have to your soul. How is that access? How is it flowing? And being brave enough to face the darkness that might be there, and the hidden parts. They're not hidden. They're hurting somehow. They are close to painful events. They're too close. And maybe you thought that you were guilty of those events, and you end up conflating the pain for the truth. But in this reading is supposed to give you the power back so that you can do whatever you want with it. Master, maker, and the magician. If you have all the elements and if you have all the ingredients, you can do whatever you want. That's the purpose here. It's to give you power over those painful memories, painful parts. Six of Pentacles. To be generous with yourself, to be more forgiving. Beautiful with the Lovers. And Death. Wow. It's a great change. Four of Wands. Wow. Celebrating. This is about celebration. It can also be about marriage, because there's a religious component here. This might have to do with the ability to present yourself before a spiritual authority and sign a contract and make a promise, a covenant, an agreement with God. But it might also be talking about you marrying that part of yourself that is attached to the painful situation, the painful memory. So the advice here is to be more gentle, more forgiving. Don't think of things so much as black and white, because even if you know that something isn't right or something is hurting a situation or hurting others, it doesn't mean that is in the broader perspective of things that it's incorrect. Sometimes things are just ways to learn, and sometimes we also have to give things time. To be devoted to the light means that you are constantly tending to that spirit, and although you might feel like you can't achieve this purity and this truth immediately with yourself and with others, the way your intention, the devotion and the intention that you put in your daily life, even in the mundane aspects of it, will eventually produce the energy, the necessary energy, and the connection that you need to feel to make things more pleasant. I feel like there's this need to make things pleasant, make things, a need for ease, for sweetness, for gentleness, and to give yourself something. Maybe even like picture yourself in those painful moments and give yourself what you needed at the moment that you didn't get. The healing, the love, the attention, the validation. Because I think that you need to achieve this peace, inner peace. And I do believe that this reading is all about inner peace and faith and hope in the future. Clearing away this sense of guilt or heaviness from the past. That is actually, although it's in the past, is very present. Something that's very you can see it. It's palpable. It's even something that it might be something in your body, even like a scar or something like that reminds you, that transports you immediately to something that you're not, that doesn't represent you anymore. Beautiful. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, make sure to subscribe to the newsletter so we can keep in touch, and I will be creating some exclusive content for all my newsletter subscribers. And I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 2, your card is the 3 of Cups. He's so happy and joyous, sharing, giving from the heart. Giving from, you see that the cup is in the heart and on the chest. So he's really giving, serving people, his heart, his feelings, showing his love. It also looks like very like healthy food, like fruits and fresh, something fresh. Okay, let's put this back. So what is hidden for pile number 2? Okay. What is hidden from pile number 2? Okay. We have Oh, That Gnome, the Sage, and the Guardian at the Gate. So I feel like there's one or more people who are looking at you, who are observing you. It's interesting that you have a gnome that is looking at you with the right eye, and you have the sage who is looking at you with his left eye, because the right eye, like Odin, is blind. So maybe one person is seeing one thing and the other person is seeing another. The Guardian at the Gate, 3 of Cups. What is hidden for pile number 2? Whoa, okay. Court person. Great happiness. And pleasant letter. So, for some of you, this might be romantic. I feel like someone is looking at you with the intention to maybe court you. And they're looking at you as someone who brings them great happiness. And I think that what is hidden from you is a message from them, or that they have a message that's ready to send. Maybe you missed their message, or that message didn't arrive yet, something like that. Or a package or a gift. I feel like people are looking at you. They're observing you. Someone is observing you with the intention to contact you. or to give you something. There's something a little bit sneaky about this, but I don't think it's not evil. It's not, there's no trick. It's just a little bit undercover, maybe? Okay, Saturn in Virgo with isolation. So if you feel alone, you're not. Jupiter in Scorpio with manipulation. Someone is trying to isolate you, maybe. Sun in Cancer with resourcefulness. Sun in Capricorn with achievement. Saturn in Gemini with concentration. Moon in Sagittarius with optimism. Saturn in Pisces with loss. So someone is sending you a message with good news, like you have what it takes, you have achieved something, they want to concentrate their efforts on you. There's a sense of expansion, like of growth, like things can move forward from there. It can be romantic, it can be a friendship, it can be a career, it can be professional. And I think that right now, but there might be something, like one person is seeing you in a way and the other person is seeing you the other way. Isolation and manipulation. It's like it seems like your lack of understanding of this, or your lack of knowledge of the situation, is because of some kind of loss. But I need to understand this. So the courtship might also mean that there's someone is making a decision that maybe this person already made this decision. They already chose you. And what you don't know is that the path is open for you. Ace of Pentacles. If this is career or financial, it's very good news. Two of Wands. I can't... There's something here about underestimating someone, or someone trying to downplay your importance, your achievement, someone trying to downplay your importance. Nine of Pentacles. This is a very good situation in terms of material benefits. So I do feel like you're going to experience a good opportunity in that sense very soon. The World. I feel like it's going to open a lot of options for you. It's going to show you other options, show you a lot of options. Maybe you're going to be presented with options. So if this is romantic, I am very sure that this is more than one person. The Chariot. The Four of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. I look at this as someone like managing estate, managing wealth. Someone who has a lot of wealth, because although this is the Nine of Cups, but you see that happy guy, he has a really opulent dress, opulent coat with feathers and colors and jewelry. And this person is very strategic and thoughtful, careful with the resources. Okay. You also have the Queen of Cups. So, you're really going to be very happy about this. You're going to have a creative opportunity also. The Nine of Wands. So this can be two things. Either someone is, no, three. Someone is losing this opportunity so that you can win, or there's a part of this opportunity that's not exactly how you thought it would be, but once you gather yourself and you understand the perspective, like a different perspective, this chapter closes and another one opens, and there's a different opportunity rising from that. And there's also it's also possible, that you'll be contacted by different people, and not all of them are going to resonate with you, and maybe some of them will feel rejected, or like they are losing to someone else. Imagine if this is romantic and you you have to choose between two people. That's also possible here. And okay, so you have the Star, and the King of Pentacles. Okay. And the Three of Cups. You know, you'll have the opportunity to give from the heart. You will be relating to people who want to receive that generous offer, that generosity, heart-centered generosity that you have, that wants to be shared, that you want to share with other people. And I feel like it's going to be a very productive exchange. It can be romantic exchange, like love exchange, attention. It can be work related. So if you are creating something for someone, that person is going to be also generous with you. Also be generous with you, sorry. And it will be worth it. That's what I'm feeling here, is that it will be worth it. It will be fun. It will enrich your life tremendously. It will give you financial opportunities. Even if it starts small, I think that it will expand. It will bring you other opportunities. That's how I'm seeing this. Imagine like you meet someone who has something to offer you and you do a small thing for them, but then it turns into something greater, even because they present you, you meet someone else, like a new client or a new collaborator, because of that person, because they say, oh, this person is so good at this, you must meet this person and share, because this is also about sharing your gifts, being able to share your gifts, to do good things, to do things that are fulfilling to you, to also be regarded as someone who has achieved something good. It might be there's you have the web here with the concentration and the world card. Whenever this connection appears, I'm also reminded of the internet and also the star. Star is Aquarius. Aquarius is technology, innovation, originality. I feel like there might be something here related to the internet or related to technology that might be a part of the work you do, or it might be your main communication vehicle, let's say your main way of communicating for now. So if this is romantic, the internet might be the environment where it begins, where this exchange begins. And so what is hidden about this is that you're right at the threshold. You're right at the change, at the changing, the moment of change is coming very soon. I would say 2 to 3 days maximum, but it can be in the next hour. So it's going to be really quick. Okay. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter so we can keep in touch. And I'm also available for personal readings. If you're interested, send me an email. You can find it below. And I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 3. Your card is the Magician. A lot of possibilities for you. A lot of hidden magic. Hidden magic. This can be about so many things. It can be about someone else's energy also. Let's see. Okay, I'll put it back. And we'll start with some oracle cards. So what is hidden for pile number 3? Sorry. Singer of Courage. The Retriever. and the undressing of a salad. So maybe something seems complicated at the moment or almost impossible. Like a situation you want to get out of, or something that you want to solve. And it seems like an impossible task. But it seems like it's that way because you forgot about something, because you need to go back and get something that was lost. It might be something that requires courage. Okay, let's see what is hidden from pile number 3. Receiving a gift. Good gentleman. False person. So maybe that's why I was feeling like the magician energy could also have like the intervention of something or someone who is trying to mess with your energy or mess with your magic, to change your opinion, to change your view on something, or on your how do I say this? Not your skills, but on your abilities. Yeah, your ability to do something. It's like you have the power to do what you want to do, however you want to do it, but there's something interfering with that, because it's an element of that ability that you have to shape reality. It's an element that is not entirely true, or it's incomplete. Something is missing. And either someone has the bravery to show you that, or you have to see something, you have the courage to see something about that. It might mean that you will change a relationship with someone, or it will change your relationship with someone. Or someone that might be trying to protect you might have some kind of hidden agenda. That's interesting. Okay. So what is hidden for pile number 3? Mercury in Aries with restlessness. Saturn in Libra with devotion. Venus in Taurus with romance. Mars in Pisces with escape. Saturn in Scorpio with inheritance. And Moon in Pisces with empathy. So I'm getting something here about like listen to this person's advice about someone else. Someone has left like a little pearl of wisdom for you to enjoy, for you to kind of dissect and understand. And It will help you solve a very complex problem or get you out of a very complicated situation. Like it's impossible to see the solution immediately. So there's two options here that I'm seeing. Either one person isn't as truthful as they seem, like they seem to be protecting you, but there's something strange about that, like it's also keeping you down. Or someone tried to warn you about someone else that is keeping you down, and you should listen to that person's pearl of wisdoms. There's a message there, and it was given to you because they saw something special in you. They saw, and they also saw that you needed to escape that problem, that you needed to leave a situation, or maybe leave a relationship, leave a situation, leave a job, something that was hurting you. But I do feel like it's complicated. It's something that is complicated. Maybe it's even like a situation that's, if this is not exactly work related, it can also be family. The Hermit. I'm also hearing something about you going your own way, being brave about your own way, about doing things your own way. But I feel like it's the main message here is that someone gave you something, and that thing is hidden. So it can be a clue to something that is now not accessible. Maybe it's like in the middle of a lot of stuff, in hidden somewhere. Hidden somewhere. I don't know. Page of Swords. It's something that makes all the difference in the world. It's an information that makes all the difference in the world. It also gives you access to that inner knowledge, that inner courage also. So it's something that enhances your self-esteem, or the way you see yourself just becomes more powerful. Four of Cups. You don't have that at the moment. You don't have that thing with you at the moment. It's hidden. Four of Swords. And the Ten of Wands. It's so that you can rest. You need to rest. You see here, relax and rest. They're exhausted. Both of them are exhausted. They're so exhausted that they didn't even bother lying down in a bed to rest. It's so stressful and so overwhelming. Three of Wands. Nine of Pentacles. Page of Cups. Five of Wands. Queen of Swords. And finally, you have the Devil. So this is really, it's something that you need to release yourself from. I feel like you have to be very decisive, very, very rational. And you also have to have the correct information. That information is not in your power at the moment, but it's like in the middle of a messy pile of something. It seems to be an object or something palpable, something that you can use, you can hold in your hand, but it can also be just like a file, maybe a file on your computer. It's like you need to show up for yourself also. You need to give yourself peaceful moments. And that's also retrieving that information or helping you retrieve that information. You will listen more. I feel like you're also in a situation where you're not as receptive as you could, and you're supposed to be, maybe because you're not rested enough, like you're tired, your senses might be overwhelmed, and you need peaceful moments. You really need to release the energy, release tension in the body and the mind, but especially in very tight ideas, like tight also limiting beliefs. So writing down the objections to what you want to do might also be enlightening, because you need to be more decisive about what you're doing. But it has to come from this place of peace and rest. It's too tense at the moment. I feel like it's a little bit blocked because there's a lot of there's probably someone around you that doesn't have the right vibe at the moment, and that is causing some sort of like immune response. And it's like you can't really put a finger on it, but something's wrong, and it ends up messing your energy. I do feel like there's a lot of unconscious stuff around you, not necessarily yours, but it's messing, it's interfering with yours, and it's creating issues where there are no issues at all. I do feel like there's it's like there's something that's false. It's something that's not true, that is making you believe that you can't do things, and you can. It's like you really can. You're much more powerful, and you're much more in charge of this energy than you think. And there is going to be some sort of confrontation, because you do have the Singer of Courage, and I do feel like someone also might be confronting you with the fact that you're more powerful than you appear, or then you're more powerful than the evidence that you put forth, let's say. And that's a little bit of a rude awakening, maybe, but it's going to make a very complicated situation into something very simple. It's going to boil it down to the first elements of decision making for this process to develop. And I don't know if this is something to do with your family life, work life, or even if it's just something like you're going through a general situation in your life that's a bit complicated. It seems like it's too complicated and needs to be simplified. There might be a lot of I'm seeing like piles of stuff, so there might be a lot of objects, there might be a lot of stuff to manage, It can also be like files in a computer, like I'm going through files and I'm trying to find this one specific information that's really hard, or I lost my hard drive and it had all this information. Now what am I going to do? I need to find it in another way. There's this process of kind of sieving, and it seems like it's very exhausting, but it's important that you also do this from a place of peace, inner peace. And I do feel like there's something around you that's triggering an immune response that is not rational, that is not adequate, even that's not appropriate, because it's maybe something is becoming a conflict that shouldn't be a conflict. And although it seems like it's a conflict on like a parent, like in the material sense, so you might be facing someone literally, but it's also an inner conflict. It triggers an inner conflict. And I do think that you need to be very like bossy with this devil energy here. You need to put it in its rightful place. And the devil energy is not an easy energy at all. But I do think that you will achieve this through listening to yourself, to tending to your needs, to rest. Rest is going to be very beneficial at this time. So having these periods of retreat and rest and peace, because I do feel like you're very, very exhausted. And so maybe this is also what is hidden for you at the moment, is that there's this exhaustion boiling, in the background, like a slow simmer, that if you don't attend to, and this is of course just for the ones who resonate with this, sometimes people think they're very strong and they're constantly pushing themselves, and sometimes it's really too much. And so take a breather and consider this idea that you might be pushing yourself too hard, and if it fits, rest, because it's no use, to enslave yourself. You need to put some rules, you need to have discipline also, even in the interactions with others. It seems like it's very, very complicated, but it can be boiled down to very simple decisions. And it's the little bite-sized pieces that we can, that we can include in our daily life, in our daily chores. If we want to do everything, all at once, it will just drain all your energy. It will be, it won't be productive also, because one of the big purposes of this is also to produce peace. And you can enjoy that at every moment. You don't need to be like torturing yourself until you achieve, the desired effect, or until you get to a certain point. You can relax. You can breathe. You can sleep. You can let it go. You will still be able to get it back. But there might be someone in your vicinity that might not be very helpful at this moment, because of this kind of irritation that it creates. And it seems like it's a good thing, but it's not, because I do feel like there's some sort of duplicitous nature, or hidden nature to this. So maybe this is also an important part of your hidden message. So one is the you're getting tired, and if it's something that you're not conscious of at the moment, that might be hiding, and it will make you stop. Like you will have to stop eventually and rest. So don't push yourself to that limit. But also something hidden here is the presence of this person creates a feeling that things are more complicated than they really are. And that complication might come from how you feel about them, or they are so complicated that everything they do just gets more complicated. And you just happen to be around that person, and it kind of swallows your energy. You match it too much. You are dancing with that energy, and you listen to that energy, and maybe it's too much. And the way to interact with that, I feel like, is drawing very clear boundaries and being a little bit cold, being very strict, let's say. Because if you don't, that energy will kind of end up dominating yours, and also blocking that peace that you need to relax and sleep. Okay, thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also subscribe to the newsletter so we can keep in touch. I am also available for personal readings at the moment, so send me an email. The email is below. And I hope to see you again very soon. Bye.